When you think about aging, most people imagine wrinkles, slower memory, weaker eyesight, or maybe a tired heart. But the truth hides in a place so simple that most never even notice until it is too late. The first sign of aging is not in the eyes, not in the brain, not even in the heart. It is in the legs. The legs weaken first. Before a person realizes their independence is slipping away, the very muscles that carry the body, that keep balance, that allow one to walk across the room, to rise from a chair, to climb a single stair, begin to surrender quietly. It is an invisible decline, silent but devastating, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The legs are more than just limbs. They are the foundation of human strength and mobility. They are packed with the largest muscles in the body, hungry for energy, nutrients, and circulation. When those muscles begin to shrink and weaken, it is not only a problem of strength, it is the first warning that the entire body is entering decline. Weak legs mean weak circulation, poor nutrient absorption, declining mitochondrial energy. It means the core machinery of human life is being drained, cell by cell, fiber by fiber. A body with weak legs is a body moving faster toward dependency, frailty, and disease. Think about this clearly. A person with clear eyesight but weak legs is already dependent. A person with a sharp mind but weak legs cannot rise from bed without help. A person with a strong heart but weak legs cannot walk far enough to exercise that heart. Your legs are the gateway to the rest of your health. When they falter, the rest follows. And the tragedy is this decline often begins earlier than expected. For some, it begins in their 50s. For others, even in their 40s. It begins with small signs. Climbing stairs feels heavier. Walking distances feel slower. Standing after sitting takes longer. The legs are whispering the truth of aging long before other organs announce it. Why do the legs weaken first? The answer is brutally simple. Muscle is expensive for the body to maintain. It requires protein, oxygen, minerals, circulation, constant use. When the body faces stress, nutrient shortage, inactivity, or disease, it sacrifices the muscle first because muscle consumes too much. The legs, being the largest muscles, are the first to be sacrificed. The body is efficient but ruthless. It will shrink the thighs, weaken the calves, reduce the fibers, and once that cycle begins, every step becomes a struggle. This is not just about aging. This is about biology, about survival, about the body making choices that you did not choose for yourself. Now consider the danger of ignoring this. Weak legs are not just weakness. They are the single greatest predictor of falling, and falls are the leading cause of fractures, hospitalizations, and early death among seniors. Every year, millions are taken from independence to immobility because their legs could no longer hold them. A fall that breaks a hip is not just a broken bone, it is a broken life. The data is merciless. More than half of seniors who suffer a hip fracture never regain full mobility again. And all of it begins with that slow, silent weakening of the legs, ignored for years, brushed aside as just tiredness or age. The legs are also the pumps of circulation. Every step you take pushes blood back up to the heart. Strong calf muscles are like a second heart in the lower body, sending blood upward against gravity. When those muscles weaken, circulation slows, swelling increases, blood pressure rises, and organs receive less oxygen. Weak legs choke the entire circulatory system, and still, most people do not see it until it becomes too late. But here is the truth that should shake you. Your legs do not have to weaken first. They weaken first only if you ignore them, only if you allow deficiencies to eat away at the fibers, only if you allow inactivity and poor nutrition to drain the reserves. You can preserve them, feed them, rebuild them, and if you do, you preserve everything else with them. Because when the legs stay strong, the heart stays strong, the brain receives blood, the body keeps moving, independence remains intact. The legs are the first line of defense, and the strongest foundation you can build. Most people make the mistake of thinking aging is something that just happens to them, like the passing of time. But the weakening of the legs is not fate, it is a signal. It is your body calling out for support. When cramps strike at night, when your calves tighten unexpectedly, when your thighs feel heavy after only a short walk, your body is not betraying you. It is warning you. It is telling you that your cellular fuel is depleting, your minerals are draining, your muscles are crying for repair. Ignoring that voice is the first step toward decline. Listening to it and responding with action is the first step toward renewal. Every great truth in human biology comes down to this: the body is constantly breaking down and rebuilding. If you feed it the right tools, it rebuilds stronger. If you neglect it, it breaks down faster. The legs are the greatest example of this. Feed them, use them, protect them, and they will carry you for decades. Starve them, neglect them, and they will be the first to abandon you. And when they do, your entire life shifts from independence to dependency in an instant. So I want you to think carefully tonight about this one fact. Your legs are the story of your future. They are not just muscles, they are your freedom. When you rise in the morning and your legs feel weak, do not ignore it. When you stretch at night and a cramp grips you, do not dismiss it. Those moments are not small inconveniences. They are messages written into your body, telling you to change before decline becomes permanent. Health tip for you tonight: every single day, nourish your legs. Do not wait until weakness shows. Take one step today by adding mineral-rich fruits, hydration, and movement to your routine. Even one serving of potassium and magnesium-rich fruit daily, even one extra walk that makes the calf pump the blood, even one stretch before sleep, can be the difference between a body that weakens first and a body that resists time. Remember this always: the legs are the beginning of aging, but they can also be the beginning of strength, if you act before they give up on you. When the legs begin to weaken, the first thought many people have is that it must simply be age. They say to themselves, "This is natural, this is what happens as the years add up." But that explanation is too easy, and it is not the truth. Muscles do not fail just because of birthdays. They fail because something deep inside the body is being starved. They fail because the very minerals and nutrients that give muscles the ability to contract, to release, to generate energy, are no longer reaching them in the amounts required. And when those minerals fade, the body begins to speak a language of pain and warning. That language is the cramp. A cramp is not random. A cramp is not just an annoyance that interrupts your night. A cramp is the voice of your muscle fibers calling out for help. Think about what actually happens in the moment of a cramp. The muscle contracts so tightly that you feel locked, frozen, almost paralyzed. It grips with such force that tears fill the eyes. Why does this happen? Because the machinery that controls contraction and release is dependent on minerals, especially potassium, magnesium, calcium, and sodium. These minerals are not optional. They are the electrical currency of the body. They are the keys that open and close the gates of every muscle fiber. Without them, contraction cannot release. Without them, energy cannot flow. What is so shocking is that deficiency in these minerals can develop silently over years. You do not notice at first. A little tightness in the calf, a little heaviness in the thigh, maybe a twitch in the foot at night. But inside, the balance is shifting. The stores of potassium are falling. The magnesium is not being replenished. Circulation is carrying fewer nutrients to the muscles. Each day, the cells struggle a little more. And then one night, when the imbalance becomes too great, the muscle locks, the cramp seizes, and you wake in pain. That is not just a coincidence. That is a warning. Science shows us that the body has extraordinary ways to protect itself, but it also shows us that the body is unforgiving when starved. Autophagy, the process by which cells recycle themselves, can repair damage, clear waste, and maintain balance, but even that system cannot function without proper fuel. Without minerals and antioxidants, even cellular recycling slows. Waste accumulates. Stress builds, energy dwindles. The muscle fiber becomes like a worker forced to keep laboring without food or water. Eventually, it collapses. This is the hidden cause of weakness, nutrient starvation on a cellular level, long before visible weakness appears. The tragedy is that modern diets make this starvation worse. Processed foods, low in minerals, stripped of antioxidants, dominate the meals of many people. Salt is abundant, but the balance is wrong. Potassium is scarce, magnesium is ignored. Fruits and vegetables that once delivered these nutrients daily are replaced by sugar, refined grains, and empty calories. The result is not just obesity or diabetes, but something more subtle: muscles deprived of the tools they need to survive. And those deprived muscles show their pain as cramps, stiffness, weakness. It is a silent epidemic, happening in millions, dismissed as just age, when in truth it is deficiency. When you understand this, the cramp becomes more than pain. It becomes a message. A warning that if you do not correct the balance, decline will accelerate. Every cramp is like a letter from your muscles begging you to restore what has been lost. Ignoring it is like ignoring chest pain or dizziness. The symptom is not the problem itself. The symptom is the alarm. If you want proof, consider this: athletes, young and strong, also suffer cramps when their mineral balance fails. Even with their youth, even with their training, when they sweat out potassium and magnesium and do not replace them, their muscles fail in the same way. Age does not matter. Biology matters. Minerals matter. Circulation matters. When those are lost, strength is lost. That means your cramps are not inevitable. They are preventable. They are reversible. But it requires action. It requires recognizing that the root cause is starvation of the cells, not age, not fate. It requires feeding the body the very elements that fuel contraction and relaxation. It requires seeing food not as comfort but as medicine, as a tool to rebuild what has been lost. Your muscles are not betraying you. They are asking you to save them. And you can. Every human being has the power to slow this decline if they listen. The warning signs are there. Heavy legs, restless nights, sudden cramps, stiffness after sitting. These are the signals. Responding means restoring potassium with fruits, magnesium with whole foods, hydration with clean water, circulation with movement. Small steps but powerful. The body does not ask for miracles. It asks for balance. Give it that balance, and the very process that weakens the legs can be slowed, even reversed. So remember this every time a cramp wakes you at night. That pain is not an enemy. It is a teacher. It is showing you where the weakness begins and how you can fight it. Ignore it, and the weakness will grow until it robs you of independence. Listen to it, act on it, and you can preserve the strength that carries your life. Health tip for you tonight: do not dismiss cramps as bad luck. See them as the red light on your health dashboard. Each time they occur, respond with minerals, hydration, and nourishment. A banana, a handful of nuts, a glass of water before bed. These are small corrections that restore the balance. Feed the body what it cries out for, and the cramps will not control you. Let every cramp remind you that the body speaks in signals, and those who listen will walk stronger, longer, and freer. When the body cries out through cramps, when the legs begin to tremble under the weight of daily life, the solution is not in complicated drugs or expensive supplements first. The answer lies in the Earth's oldest gifts, the foods that carry the exact minerals and compounds your muscles crave. Nature has always prepared for our survival, placing in fruits the precise balance of electrolytes, antioxidants, and hydration that restore the body. Yet, most people overlook them, reaching instead for processed snacks and hollow calories. The truth is this: 6 simple fruits, common, humble, within reach of everyone, can transform the way your muscles function. They are not just food. They are medicine, designed to feed the fibers, heal the cramps, and preserve your strength. The first fruit is the banana, often dismissed as too ordinary to hold any power. But inside this golden fruit lies one of the highest natural sources of potassium, the very mineral that allows muscles to relax after contraction. Without potassium, the muscle stays locked, trapped, in pain. A single banana can deliver what many supplements fail to provide: a direct, absorbable source of fuel for your cells. Athletes use it for endurance, and the aging body should use it for survival. A banana is not sweetness. It is balance. It is freedom from the prison of nightly cramps. The second fruit is the orange, the sun captured in flesh. Oranges are not only about vitamin C for immunity. They are also about circulation. They thin the blood gently, improve flow, and deliver antioxidants that protect the fragile walls of vessels feeding your legs. Weak circulation means starving muscles, and starving muscles cramp. An orange is not just juice on the tongue. It is energy carried into your fibers, oxygen carried into your calves, life carried into your thighs. That burst of citrus is more than refreshment. It is a signal to your cells that repair is possible. Then comes the watermelon, a fruit dismissed as water and sugar, when in truth it is one of the most hydrating and mineral-rich foods for the muscles. The majority of cramps are triggered by dehydration, by the failure of water and electrolytes to balance inside cells. Watermelon carries not only water but potassium, magnesium, and an amino acid called citrulline that dilates blood vessels and improves circulation. A slice of watermelon on a hot day does more than cool you down. It restores the very environment in which your cells thrive. It refills the tank so the legs do not lock. It is more than summer sweetness. It is muscular salvation. Consider also the avocado, often misunderstood as a fat rather than a fruit. In truth, it is one of the densest nutritional packages nature ever created. Avocado provides potassium in amounts rivaling bananas, magnesium in levels that calm the nerves and muscles, and healthy fats that keep cell membranes flexible and strong. The avocado is not flashy, not sweet, but it is profound. It rebuilds the very foundation of muscle tissue. It nourishes not just strength but stability. For every person who fears falling, the avocado is a shield. For every person who wakes in pain at night, the avocado is a remedy hidden in green flesh. The fifth fruit, cherries, may seem delicate, but their power is unmatched in reducing inflammation. Inside cherries lies a compound called anthocyanin, which acts as a natural pain reliever and anti-inflammatory. Muscles starved of nutrients not only cramp but also inflame, building waste products like lactic acid that burn the tissues. Cherries clear this waste, soothe this fire, and restore balance. Eating cherries is not indulgence. It is cleansing. It is recovery, like flushing the system of poisons that build with age. Every handful is a quiet medicine against the burn of overworked and undernourished muscles. Finally, the papaya, the tropical healer. Papaya holds a unique enzyme called papain, which aids digestion and absorption of protein. What does this mean for your muscles? It means the very building blocks of repair, the amino acids that rebuild fibers, can be absorbed more efficiently. Without proper digestion, even the best protein in the world is wasted. Papaya ensures that what you eat becomes what you are. At the same time, it carries potassium and antioxidants to calm the tissues. This fruit is both repair and prevention, a bridge between what you consume and what your muscles become. Together, these 6 fruits are not random choices. They are a complete arsenal, each one addressing a different angle of muscular weakness and cramp. One restores potassium, one enhances circulation, one delivers hydration. One rebuilds membranes, one fights inflammation, one improves absorption. Imagine what happens when you place them in your life, not as occasional snacks, but as daily medicine. The cramps lose their power. The muscles recover their balance. The legs hold you longer. Independence stretches further into age. The mistake most people make is waiting for a pill, a treatment, a cure outside themselves, when in truth the cure is already growing on trees, hanging on branches, sold in baskets in every market. The body does not need miracles. It needs balance. It needs the exact nutrients that these fruits deliver. And yet, because they are simple, because they are ordinary, people overlook them. But simplicity is the most powerful medicine of all. So let me leave you with this thought. Every time your legs cramp, every time you groan in pain and rub your calf in the middle of the night, ask yourself, did I feed my body the fruits it needs to protect me? Did I supply the minerals, the hydration, the antioxidants? Or did I starve my own muscles while expecting them to carry me? The answer will decide how long your legs remain your strength instead of your weakness. Health tip for you tonight: begin with one fruit, but make it daily. Do not wait until the cramps chain you to pain. A banana in the morning, an orange at noon, a slice of watermelon in the evening, an avocado on your plate, cherries as a snack, papaya for digestion. 6 fruits, 1 mission. To keep your legs alive with strength. Do not underestimate them. They are the medicine your muscles have been waiting for. The greatest tragedy in health is not disease itself, but the silence before it. The body whispers, then it warns, then it screams. And most people ignore the whispers until they are forced into silence themselves. Leg weakness and cramps are those whispers, and the urgency to act cannot be overstated. Time does not wait for hesitation. Every ignored signal, every dismissed cramp, every excuse that says, "It's just age," is one more step toward immobility, one more step toward losing what makes life full: independence, freedom, dignity. Aging itself is not the enemy. The enemy is neglect. Think about what actually happens when action is delayed. First, the legs feel heavy after climbing stairs. Then walking a short distance feels like carrying weights. Then, standing from a chair requires bracing yourself. Then the cane appears, then the walker, then the chair with wheels. This decline is not sudden. It is slow, almost invisible, until it traps you fully. And when it does, there is no escape. That is why urgency matters. You cannot wait until the weakness has already chained you. Muscles that are lost are difficult to regain. Balance that is broken takes years to rebuild. The earlier you act, the longer your strength remains yours. Most people live under the illusion that they will have time later, that they can start when it becomes serious. But health does not negotiate. It does not delay for convenience. The body changes daily. Muscles shrink when not fed, nerves weaken when not protected, circulation slows when not used. 1 month of neglect may pass without notice, but a year of neglect creates a foundation of weakness that cannot easily be undone. This is why urgency is not panic, it is wisdom. Acting now means protecting what you will need most when you are older. Waiting is surrender. There is another truth that must be spoken clearly. When the legs weaken, the risk of falling grows. A fall is not just a stumble. For a younger body it is an inconvenience, but for an aging body it can be the single event that defines the rest of life. A broken hip or fractured spine is not merely a bone injury, it is a sentence to dependence. Studies show that half of those who break a hip never walk again with freedom. Many lose their lives within a year, not because of the fracture itself, but because of the decline that follows. Weak legs invite this fate. Strong legs resist it. The line between those two outcomes is the urgency with which you act before the fall ever happens. The power is still yours while the body is whispering. That is the gift of the cramp, the weakness, the fatigue. It tells you before disaster strikes. It warns you while you still have time. This is where urgency becomes opportunity. Instead of waiting for decline, you can build. You can choose each day to give your body what it craves. The 6 fruits are not just suggestions, they are tools to tip the balance. Each bite is an act of urgency, each serving is resistance against frailty. Movement, even small, is urgency made visible. A short walk, a climb of stairs, stretching before bed, these are not minor acts. They are declarations that you will not surrender quietly to decline. But urgency also requires belief. If you believe weakness is just fate, you will do nothing. If you believe decline is inevitable, you will stop fighting. That is the most dangerous thought of all. The truth is not that decline is inevitable. The truth is that prevention is possible, that strength can be preserved, that nutrition and movement can hold the line far longer than most imagine. The ones who act early, who act daily, who act with urgency, walk strong into their later years. The ones who delay, who dismiss, who ignore, find themselves surprised by frailty that could have been slowed. The choice is not written in stone. It is written in action. You must see your legs not only as limbs, but as the keepers of freedom. The urgency is not just about avoiding pain, it is about avoiding the loss of everything independence brings. The ability to walk to the market, to climb stairs in your home, to play with grandchildren, to travel, to rise from bed without assistance. All of these rest on the strength of your legs. To ignore them is to gamble with your very life experience. To protect them is to preserve joy itself. So let me ask you, how many more cramps will you ignore? How many nights of pain will you explain away as nothing? How many warnings will you brush aside before your body forces you to face the truth? The urgency is not tomorrow, it is now. Because every day that passes without change is another day the body loses ground. And every day you take action is another day you win it back. The time is not later. The time is today. Health tip for you tonight: treat every cramp as a deadline. Do not let the warning pass unanswered. Begin immediately with simple action: one fruit rich in minerals, one glass of water to restore balance, one walk to push circulation, one stretch to train flexibility. It may seem small, but it is urgent. Those small urgent acts, repeated daily, will build the fortress of strength that carries you forward. Remember this: the future of your legs, and the freedom they bring, is written not in age but in urgency. Choose to act now, and you choose to keep walking free.